Hi friends, I am going to share a book with you guys this afternoon about a scarecrow. We talked this week when you were in school a lot about scarecrows, and we did some different activities with scarecrows. I'm going to remind you guys, over here beside me, we worked together. Everybody got to make a different piece of the scarecrow, and then we got to put it together and we labeled him. We labeled all the parts of him. You guys got to label your own scarecrow this week. There's one of the ones that you guys did. We talked about this story at school, Scarecrow. We read it and we talked about the setting. We're going to talk about the setting again today. We know a character from a long time ago. We learned in kindergarten that a character is a person or an animal or something like a scarecrow in a story. A scarecrow is not really alive, but in our stories we have a character that is a scarecrow because he has features. He talks in our story, so he is actually kind of like a person in the books that we were reading. In this book that I'm going to read to you guys today, the scarecrow, this little boy scarecrow, has a family. So he has things like an actual character in a story would have, but like an actual person. But today we're also going to talk about the setting. And setting is and I know you guys remember really quick, everybody say it with me, the setting is the place in a story, the place that a story is at, the place and the time. It can be the time too. We talked a little bit about the different seasons this week when we read the other Scarecrow book. So I'm going to read you guys this story. The title of it is The Little Scarecrow Boy, and it was written by Margaret Wise Brown, and the pictures, the illustrator of this story is David Diaz. So I'm going to read it. While I'm reading it, think about the place. Think about where this little guy is at in the story, because one of your activities this week that you're doing at home is you're drawing a setting, the setting of this story. So, see, in this book, this little boy wants to be a scary, scary scarecrow. He wants to get in the field and scare away the crows like his dad does. But we'll see what his dad thinks, if his dad thinks he's ready to scare crows away or not. Once upon a time, in a cornfield, there lived a scarecrow and his scarecrow wife and their little scarecrow boy. Every day, the old man scarecrow went into the cornfields to make faces at the crows. And every day, his little scarecrow boy wanted to come too. And every day, the old man scarecrow said, "No, no, little boy, you can't go. You're not fierce enough to scare a crow. Wait till you grow." So every day, the little scarecrow boy stayed at home all day and just grew. So there's Dad talking to him. He's saying, "Nope, you're not ready. You're too little." Every day out in the field, old man Scarecrow waved his arms and made terrible faces. He made such terrible faces that the crows nearly lost their feathers at the sight of him. And they flew far, far away. So he makes such scary faces that the crows will almost lose their feathers trying to get away from him. Every evening when the sun went down, old man Scarecrow came rattling home, and all evening he sat in his scarecrow house teaching his little scarecrow boy how to make fierce faces. Old lady Scarecrow whistled through her straw teeth at the looks of them there. So here's Dad, Father Scarecrow, teaching his little boy how to make fierce scarecrow faces. But early in the morning, when the sun came up, it was still the same old no. There he is asking Dad again. He's saying, "Nope, can't go yet." "No, little boy, you can't go. You're not fierce enough to scare a crow. Wait till you grow." So the little scarecrow boy stayed at home all day and just grew. Then one day, after the little boy had learned all 6 of his father's terrible faces so that he could make every one of them right after the other, he decided to run away. Early the next morning, he would go out into the cornfield and he would frighten a crow. So before the sun was up, or the old man Scarecrow was up, or the old lady Scarecrow was up, the little boy Scarecrow slipped out of bed, dressed quietly on tiptoe, and went quietly out of the house. So he said, well, I'm going to go anyway. I'm going to sneak out there and scare a crow. He has learned 6 scary faces to make. Over to the cornfield, up on his father's post, in his father's place. It was a fine shining morning with the sun gleaming green down the corn blades. Crows circled in the air far away over the trees. The little Scarecrow Boy waved his arms through the air. He had never felt fiercer in all his life. Fiercer means he feels like he's scary. And then came flying a big black crow. Oh, oh, oh! The little Scarecrow Boy made his first fierce face. And still came flying the big black crow. There he is. He's making his first fierce face. Not too scary, I don't think. Oh, oh, oh! The little Scarecrow Boy made his second fierce face. And still came the flying big black crow. There he is, making his second fierce face. So the crow's still coming. His third face. Oh, oh, oh! Time to go. So the little Scarecrow Boy ran and he ran down the corn rows. The black flapping wings made a noise now, and looking back, he could see the blue sky through the ragged feathers of the nearest crow. So now he took off. He's running from the crows. His third face didn't work. And the crow is still coming after him. The crow's chasing him. He ran and ran. Then he stopped. His fourth face. He turned around. He's trying again. He's making a fourth face. And still came flying the big black crow. So he ran and he ran and he ran and he ran. And the crow flew and he flew and he flew and he flew. And the little Scarecrow Boy ran. Poor guy. He's making all his faces and they haven't worked yet. He's done 4 faces. And then he made his 5th and next to fiercest face of all. And still came flying the big black crow. The little boy had only 1 face left now, and hardly any breath. Even so, he stopped, and with his arms stretched wide above his head and his fingers drooping on his hands, he gave the big crow, let's see, the 6th face. And whoa! The old crow flew backwards through the air, feathers flying everywhere, until there wasn't even a shadow of a crow on the land. A scarecrow at last. The little Scarecrow Boy knew that he was as fierce a scarecrow as there was in all the cornfields in all the world. Look at his 6th face, his scariest face of all. It scared the scarecrow away. He even lost some of his feathers. And then he saw a shadow in front of him, and he looked up, and there behind him was Old Man Scarecrow, his father. And his father was proud of his little boy who had made all 6 faces at the crow. Dad's not mad. He's actually proud of him. And he picked up his little Scarecrow Boy in his scarecrow arms, and they went home to breakfast. And there they are, the happy Scarecrow family. And when the little Scarecrow grew up, he was the fiercest, scariest scarecrow in all the fields, in all the world. Now, this picture is the one I want you guys to look at, because I thought when I was thinking about setting the place of a story, the time of a story, it even shows us that this is probably like late summer when those crops are growing, the corn's ready to be picked, the fields are green still, no brown in it, that the scarecrow is standing out there in the field. His place is in the middle of a field. We can see what time of the year it is. We can see the sun setting behind him. So when I thought about setting, I thought about this picture. It shows a good picture of the place. And you guys have a page in your packet that says setting. And that's the book I want you guys to use. Pick the setting that you want to use from this story. You can use that last picture like I did. That's what I kind of drew. Well, actually, I had my daughter draw this for me. She drew a setting. She likes to draw. She drew a setting of the story with the scarecrow standing there in the field of corn and a blue sky behind him. So she tried to copy that last picture too. And to show the setting of the story. So you guys have fun doing that. Make it pretty, make it nice. I can't wait to see it when you guys come back to school next week. See you soon. Hope you like the story. Bye-bye.